things that you can do every single day to prioritize your health. And one of them is train for 30 minutes. And all you got to do is get outside, take a 30-minute walk. And I guarantee you that when you finish that walk, you're going to feel better than you did before. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be able to have more patience. You're going to have better thought process in your business. It's amazing the thoughts you have on walks. Like when you deliberately pull yourself out of the business, when you're like, oh, I'm so busy, I have to do these things. And you force yourself to stop and take a walk, you come back rejuvenated. You come back with better ideas. You come back with more productivity.
So tell me about, personal life. I'd love to maybe dive in on that. You obviously a father as well. You're a business owner. We had an opportunity to hang out, the three of us and 97 other dudes in Austin for a weekend and go to the Front Row Dads retreat and have, an incredible transformational experience, as fathers, as men, as business owners, and all of the above. How do you manage all of that and, find a way to hit the gym and be healthy and do all these things? What are some thoughts there that come up for you?
So I found that as I become a father, it almost became more important for me to have my physical health be on point because now I have a 4-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son, and they're both a little bit they're both animals. They love to play, they love to run, they want to be active all the time. And I found if I don't have my physical health on point, if my cardio is not there, I can't show up like the father I would like to be. So I think that, having some time to myself to decompress, put some energy out. I think the gym is still I know a lot of people don't love the gym, but I feel like for me, it's a place where I can expend energy and kind of get some refill my cup. And having that is critical for me to show up big for my family. So if I don't have that in my life, I'm shorter tempered, I'm less patient. My body doesn't feel quite as good. So if that means I have to wake up earlier than everyone else, go to the gym and come back so I can still take the kids to school, then that's what it's going to be, because it's not an option for me at this point. It's something that that has to happen because I know the value that it has, not just for me and my health, but for the health of my family and the ability for me to be the man that I want.
Have you experienced, I'm assuming you have, I think about the listener here, and that's I don't really feel like doing that shit, man. I'm tired, that sounds great in theory, Nate, but that's just not going to happen. You don't understand my circumstance. I have this going on and I cannot make that happen in the mornings, and I can't do that as, like you. What would you say to that person who might be listening? If it's a dad or a mom or anyone that's good for you, buddy. I'm glad you can do that.
Yeah. And I get that. I get that a lot too. People there are people who are way busier than me. Right. And I get that. And I'm blessed to have my own business and I can finagle and set the rules and mess around and do stuff. And that's a huge blessing in my life. I love it. But I also have people who are busier than me who are getting this in. And when I say you need to exercise, you don't need to go to the gym and do a squat workout. You need to move your body. That's the only thing. So in my book, The $1 Million Body Method, I talk about the 7 daily investments, 7 things that you can do every single day to prioritize your health. And one of them is train for 30 minutes. And all you got to do is get outside, take a 30-minute walk. And I guarantee you that when you finish that walk, you're going to feel better than you did before. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be able to have more patience. You're going to have better thought process in your business. It's amazing the thoughts you have on walks. When you deliberately pull yourself out of the business, when you're like, oh, I'm so busy, I have to do these things. And you force yourself to stop and take a walk, you come back rejuvenated. You come back with better ideas. You come back with more productivity. So I think it's a non-negotiable if you want to have success. So you have to find time. And it doesn't need to be 30 minutes in the morning. It can be 3 10-minute walks. It can be 2 15-minute walks. And you can bring your kids along with you. I got 7 kids at home. Well, make it a family affair. Put them all on your back, put them in a stroller, and now make it a little harder for yourself. But you have to get out there and you have to do something. So I think walks, one of the easiest way to start. So in my program, the $1 Million Body Mastermind, I have 3 tracks. Number 1 is all we got to do is walk. That's the only thing you need to do. You don't need to do anything else. With the goal of over the next 6 to 12 months, you get up to the point of what I call a 30-15-3. So that's 30 minutes on a 15 incline treadmill at a 3 speed. It's one of the greatest workouts of all time. It's recovery, but it's also cardio. You sweat a lot, you burn it off, you burn a ton of calories, but you leave feeling rejuvenated and not beat down. Ankles don't hurt, your back doesn't hurt. It's fantastic. So that's the big goal of the first track. The second track is walk for 3 weeks and then start building up into the gym. And the third track are people who are just like, I was a college athlete. I'm already working out. Let me add them. Put me in coach. And those people go straight to the gym. So most people, I'm not saying, all right, let's go bang some weights around first thing. That's probably 15% of the people I talk to. So for anyone else who's listening, who's like, man, I can't do that. You need to get outside and walk. Does that mean you have to wake up 10 minutes earlier? Then do it, right? Because it's not about you. It's about your family. It's about your business. And you need to make that a priority, Like, and if you want like facts, if you want to just see that this is possible, every Sunday you get a notification on your iPhone that says how much screen time you had. Every Sunday, that you spent 2.5 hours on your phone every single day. How many Netflix series have you been through in the last month? Like, there's time. You need to create it, because if you don't create time for your wellness, time will be created for your sickness, and you're not going to like that as much.
Yeah. And
I love it, man.
It's simple. It's simple to do, but it's simple to neglect. And Andrew and I have riffed on this so many times on like our earlier episodes, and that's really what we want to inspire. So listener, I would encourage you. It's just like what Nate's saying is just start, it's just start. I think the movement, the walking, I shared in previous episodes about being, when we were in the hospital, it was just like walk, movement. That was it. That's where it all started. It's just like, walking is so easy to do, but it's easy to neglect. And I'm really glad. I didn't know where you were going to go with that, but I'm glad that you said that, because we've talked about it on the show without my science, understanding of health like you are. It's just movement. Emotion creates emotion. It creates also those thoughts, like you said. And some of my best thoughts came from walking. So I'm really glad that you brought that in. And one last thing, and I'll kick it to Andrew, is can you just talk about breath work? Do you encourage and teach anything that has to do with breath during that walk or during those the workouts? Like anything that you have noticed that makes a difference, if anything at all, if breath is something that you teach to your clients?
So I haven't really delved into breath work as far as what I teach to clients. I have a practice where every morning I try to get in a minimum of 10 minutes of breath work myself. So generally just like nasal breathing, practicing just inhaling, focusing on the breath, kind of resetting, almost like meditative. And then I always finish up with like 1 to 3 rounds of a Wim Hof breathing, that 30 like deep inhales and deep exhales with the exhale, like the hold on the final exhale. I feel like that gets my central nervous system up. I feel really good for the beginning of the day. I have tons of energy. My mindset is on point. And then in terms of the gym, what I like to do is I like to prioritize nasal breathing. I read a book called The Oxygen Advantage that I thought was incredibly powerful. It talked about how even though we don't get as much oxygen when we breathe through our nose, oxygen only releases in the presence of carbon dioxide. So if you're taking these big like mouth breaths, you can get like 98, 99% oxygen perfusion in your blood, but you're not going to get as much of that oxygen to release. On the flip side, when you have 94%, 95% oxygen perfusion from nasal breathing, that 5 or 6% of CO2 in your blood forces the oxygen to release. So you actually get more more oxygen to your tissues with the nasal breathing. So I try to focus on that during my time in the gym. Try to keep my mouth shut as much as possible. And I'm actually right now for the Low Carb Hustle podcast, I do 30-day challenges a lot. Like I said, the N1 experiment's my favorite. But I'm doing a mouth taping at night. So I take a little electrical tape and I put it over my mouth, and then I put my mask on, and my wife's like, "Do not look at me. You look so weird." So I've been trying that out, and I've been tracking it on my Oura Ring.